What's your favorite TikTok that you've seen, like comment section wise, or
It'd have to be honestly the one about the $45 per downlight, 3 trucks and absolutely killing it.
let's go through some of the comments. Let's see what they've got.
Yeah.
Like, because it always gets a bit of a reaction on my TikTok.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Um,
It's TikTok's good value, and especially when you come up with some good videos. And
100%. So, someone goes, "What do you think about this? Undercut everything and take all the work."
undercut everything and take under the work. Nah, no, you can't expect to scale in a business doing that or working under that.
More doesn't mean more, guys. That is an absolute silent killer. Someone asked, "What's a brokey?" What's a brokey?
Brokey's someone that doesn't charge enough to run a business or scale a business, right?
100%. Someone stuck in their ways. And brokey doesn't mean that you don't have money or anything. It's the mindset behind being a brokey.
Well,
right?
yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, 100%. What's this? It's so this guy's saying it's definitely too low. 4 times is definitely too high. Just looking for some comments. I paid $250 for a PowerPoint. I charge 85. I charge $85 per hour plus materials.
Yeah, in an economy like today, there's no way you could be charging prices like that and expect to scale or even grow your business, right?
100%. 80 guys, $85 an hour. Like, I think we can agree. All employees get paid more than that indirectly, but they get paid more than that.
You can still charge high prices and get return customers. It's a service you're providing and the value that you're adding to giving to the customer, right?
And it's not even high. Like, it's not just high prices. It's actually like the cost of doing business. That's what I call it. It might sound, compared to $85 an hour, it will sound.
It might sound a bit high, but it's what you need to charge to obviously be profitable, right? As business owners, we obviously all want to scale, so charge for profit, right?
Price for profit. That's what it is. That's what it is. Let's get into it. So we've got a Sparky Sales Systems member, 7-figure Sparky. We've got Daniel from Bright Force Electrical. Welcome, Daniel.
Thanks for having me on Spyro. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Fantastic stuff. So Daniel, tell us a bit about yourself and your company, where you're located, what you do.
So we service all over Sydney. Our factory is based in Kingsgrove. We're a residential Sydney-based electrician. We've been running for 4 years now. Transitioning from an electrician into a business owner is probably one of the hardest transitions you can sort of do, right?
100%. And a lot of people are doing it tough, and like I always say, it doesn't need to be that way. And that's why I'm so big on and passionate about helping Sparkies absolutely send it on and off the field. So you're based in, is it Kingsgrove?
Kingsgrove, that's correct. Yeah.
And you're doing Sydney wide?
Sydney wide, yeah.
Nice. And what sort of work are you doing? Like what?
All residential maintenance work, level 2. We've just recently got into level 2, so we've sort of expanded a little bit.
And level 2 for the guys that's a New South Wales thing, and I think Queensland as well. So the guys that aren't in New South Wales or Queensland, what do level 2s do?
So we look after the service lines coming from the street side poles to the house, and obviously disconnect, reconnects at the point of attachment. Doing all the testing required, underground works, private poles, you name it, we do it.
Nice. And before you jump into more about your own electrical business, like what got you into the trade?
So this is a pretty funny story, right? So just an 18-year-old boy, just finished school, sort of didn't know what I wanted to do, right? Sort of speaking to mum about it, telling her I want a gap year. She sort of looked at me a bit funny, and she's like, you're not having a gap year. You're either becoming a plumber or an electrician.
That's a wonk thing, by the way, guys. There is no gap years in a wonk household.
Yeah.
You are working. And you're Nash from background?
Macedonian.
Macedonian, there you go.
Yeah. So I sort of thought to myself, I'm not touching shit for a living. So electrician it was. Sort of regret that now, right? Nah, great decision. Definitely not. But that's how it all started. Sort of started in the construction industry. Worked there for 8 years.
And why plumbing and electrical?
I don't know. She must have known the elite trades, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, because my parents said the exact. Like, my mom actually wanted me to be a lawyer. Didn't actually realize that you had to really pay attention and study hard to get into uni. But I think my dad really influenced me to do either plumbing or electrical because they were very big on mate, these plumbers and Sparkies, they come knock on the door, they charge $300 just to say hello, and it was just like, it sounded like, you could have your own business very easily. It was scalable, and that was the info I was getting. Like, you get a trade, you work for yourself, you make bank. Like that was what was in my household. Like, was that similar there?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone thinks of it like that, but it's not necessarily true, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of processes in going into business. It's not just finish your trade, start up a business, and all the money's coming straight into your pocket. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, right?
100%, 100%. And there is a problem there. We'll touch on that as well later on the podcast, like where I definitely want to have that conversation where the Sparkies sort of get it wrong. But so you got into the electrical trade pretty early on because after not being allowed to do a
gap year.
Yeah, nice. And in your electrical business, we mentioned that you're in Kingsgrove, you service Sydney Wide, that's where your factory is.
Yep.
You're doing maintenance and level 2 works.
Yep.
Now, also with that, are you doing any construction or working for builders or chasing that work?
Nah, definitely staying away from builders. I refuse to work for builders. I'm not undercutting myself working for builders. So many builders are going under right now, and they're taking all the other trades along with them. You know what I mean? We need a price for profit. Business isn't cheap, right?
I love it.
Yeah, business isn't cheap. So working for $85, $90 an hour, it's just not feasible, especially in this.
How about 110?
110, not feasible. Not feasible.
I need some sound effects. Hands of 110. Guys, you can't build a business off $110 an hour. That is, take it of it as you will, because often I get people saying, oh man, I saw your $110 an hour video and I absolutely loved it. I'm like, mate, absolutely love that you love the video. Like, so tell me, like, how much are you charging more? Charging now? And they go, oh, still 110. It's like, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So it's definitely, and it's interesting because that's actually a big thing, because you're on a same day service as well.
Yeah.
So that means you've got a team of guys, you're in the 7 figures, you're actually doing service and you're getting leads, call it lead gen, calling it customers. You're getting customers daily. And for a lot of Sparkies out there, they go, well, and this is a big thing. I know you think, it's the normal thing to do, build a business, grow, keep growing and scaling. That's normal for you. And you put a lot of pressure on yourself that you can be so much more, you know what I mean? But for the guys that are listening in saying like, what? You don't work for any builders. Like, how do you get your work? Like what does that, that transition look like in terms of lead gen? Like, how important is having a proper lead gen strategy in your business that you're not relying on builders to get work?
Yeah, mate, lead gen's always going to be a tough topic throughout all trades, especially with the economy the way it is, right? You've got to find a good marketing agency. That's the first step in.
So you reckon don't do it yourself?
Don't do it yourself. Stay away from doing it yourself. You haven't got time to do it yourself. You need to focus on running the business.
And there's strategies within strategies, right? Okay.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Strategies within strategies. But in saying that, finding a marketing agency, that's not necessarily the first thing that you should always jump into. Putting your name out there, putting posts on local Facebook areas.
That is definitely the cheapest, returns.
Cheapest marketing.
Yeah, cheapest marketing.
You got people out here talking about Google ads and jumping on Google ads. I'm telling you right now, unless you're a big business doing seven figures a year, I would completely go against jumping on Google ads. That's yeah.
I love this. 100%. I'm because a lot of people say, but that's your model, and it's absolutely not. Like, marketing doesn't mean you put money down. Like, marketing doesn't have to be paid. Yeah. Like, we've got strategies that are $0 down and they work instantly. Yeah. I cannot stress that enough. Like, there's nothing uncool about marketing, and if you're in business, you need to market. Otherwise, you will be marketed. You'll be out marketed by your competitors, and that's the harsh reality, right?
Yeah, exactly right. I definitely agree. Just keep it going. Keep it going. Don't stop, and just keep hustling.
Keep going. Yeah, and definitely, because with your business, as you're not working in construction, and again, it's a big thing for a lot of people because that's their main lead source, and that's a marketing strategy. Getting builders is, we've got members that are still doing construction, but they make their highest margins, of course, in maintenance, right? Yeah. And in the service game. But you also mentioned in the current economy, right? So let's go like from when you first started compared to now. Like, what has changed in the tides of the economy, and why is it the way it is now?
So obviously leads are a lot more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest change I think any trade, service-based trade in Sydney has seen. Leads are more expensive. It's becoming a lot more competitive out there. Everyone's paying a lot more for their leads, and in an economy like this, you gotta sort of hold on to your money while still making smart investments in your marketing.
Fantastic. I couldn't have said it about myself. Like at the moment, and with there has been a change of tide. Now with this change of tide, Daniel, does that mean there's no work out there?
There's definitely definitely a lot more work out there. You just got to work out smarter ways to get that work.
Love it. Yes. So there is a lot of work out there still, right? But this sort of change in tide is what separates the real people that know real strategies about business versus the pretenders, right?
Yeah.
So is there, and I'll even mention like, is there work to be done? Absolutely. Is there sales to be made? Absolutely. Now, the main difference, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the main difference that I can see is in the change in tide is it requires a bit more effort to get the customer and a bit more effort to get the sale.
Yeah, no, that's definitely right. This is where sales comes into the mix, right? Obviously,
sales a dirty word?
Sales not a dirty word. Sales is what you need to do to be profitable, right? This is where your sales comes into it. Obviously, with Sparky Sales Systems, he's got everything down pat on there.
Silent plug.
Yeah, the silent plug, everything. There's so many different strategies to learn, and he has it all there on one platform.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. Talk about sales. Let's talk about sales, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned sales, right? So it's a little bit tougher to get it. Now, in Sparky Sales Systems, we're very big on this charge upwards. So the minimum target is what?
$2.5K a day.
Now, per person.
Per person, per truck.
Yeah. Is that achievable in this market?
Definitely achievable. You should be going upwards of 2.5K, not just reaching the 2.5K. Definitely feasible in a market like this. You got to work a little bit harder for it, like we just spoke about, but it's definitely feasible.
And people saying, okay, because I got in my comments like, if you're charging that or you're getting that, you must be a ripoff. What do you have to say about those sort of people?
Well, those people don't understand what the amount that goes into and the money that goes into business. So that 2.5K does not go straight into our pocket, and we're buying houses tomorrow. You know what I mean? If that were the case, I'd be retired next year, right?
100%.
It costs money to do business. It costs money to market. It costs money to run your vehicles. Tolls aren't cheap. Petrol isn't cheap.
Yeah.
People don't add all these variables into the costs of running a business. They charge $85 an hour and they think that that's all just going straight to them. But little do they realize is that they've got overheads as well, regardless if they're doing marketing or not.
And you discuss these overheads with you. Do you discuss these overheads with your staff as well?
Yeah, every month we go through what we made for the month, what our target was for the month, what we spent that month on all our overheads. Yeah,
I absolutely love it. That's what we say in the program as well, right? Like, like all of my team know exactly where they need to be at. Your team, and why your business is actually so great as well, right? Is because not only, which we'll touch on that, because look, you're not just doing 7 figures, but let's say you're in the couple mil, whatnot, doing it. You're still on the field, which is the opposite to me.
Yeah.
Right? Because as soon as I hit the 7 figures, I was like, get me out of here. Get me out of the... Yeah. You know, I don't... I like to be on the business side of the business. Yeah. I don't like to be on the forefront clipping cables and selling jobs and stuff like that. But you are the opposite. So tell me about that. You really enjoy it.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy being on the tools. I've actually recently brought my wife into the business.
Another thing that
Spiro's against, but
it works. Yeah, it does work.
It works. It's obviously having separate tasks and not interlining with each other and getting button heads with each other. You know what I mean? I have my tasks, she has her tasks, and that's how we work together, and that's the only way to work together.
Very big, very big things here. Having it all running in systems. And yeah, I'm not shy. You know, I don't beat around the bush, but I'm on the very big on it can work, but as a general pool, it can be very difficult working with partners, wives, whatnot.
Yeah, it's not easy sometimes. I'm going to be straight with it. But
I wouldn't encourage it. But what I will say as well is, and you're smart because you understand your numbers, but
yeah,
where I see a lot of people going wrong with the husband and wife sort of companies and things like that is they think by having their wife in the business that it's free labor. What is it free? Or are they an expense? Are they an investment in the company? What is it?
I see it as she's an investment in the company.
Fantastic.
She gets paid weekly, just like any other employee that I have.
Great.
We run it together. It's not I'm in charge and she follows my lead. We try to bounce off each other and run it together, and both come up with better ideas and processes and fundamentals to put into the business.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And that's the way it has to work. So, guys listening in, if you do have a partner or a family member, could be a mum, a father, whatnot in your business, they are not free. They are an employee just like anyone. So you need to pay them and you need to allow that in your charge out rate.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome to hear. And so you're a member of Sparky Sales Systems. How did the program help you?
Well, just watching each individual module, it's sort of the whole process of running a business, right? Each module teaches you on steps to take on running a business.
Well, I think as well is a lot of people out there, especially males, right? Because the male dominant industry, to be honest, right? Every male thinks, they're the best at sex, they're the fastest car driver, and they're the best at business.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
It's just what it is. But it's one of those things, it's not until, and I think what's really interesting is, and what I found is, the guys that are getting into the game, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they think they know straight from the bat. Yeah. And they think they know their business. They think they know their outgoings because they're getting paid, say, X amount of dollars while working on wages.
Yeah.
Then they come out as a business owner.
Yeah.
And they think if they can charge the same amount, well, then they're better off just working for themselves.
Yeah.
As you mentioned before, that charge out is not their money, right?
Yeah.
It gets soaked up by the business expenses. So you tell me, like, where do you see that most people go wrong when they start a business?
So when people start their own business, they've sort of got no plan, right? There's no plan of attack when they make that transition. They see as investing in business coaching, sales coaching is a waste of money. But
I'll just hold you on one thing there, because too often I jump on calls and they go, I'm already good at sales. I'm already doing. And then I go, all right. And we start spitting out some figures like, so you're hitting upwards of $40,000 per truck. And they're like, oh, what? Like with how many guys? And I go, like, man, like that's what we need you doing. And what are your, like, the 40K minimum per truck? Like, is that achievable? We said the 2.5K per day per truck, but like, as a bigger scale, the 40K a month.
40K a month's definitely achievable. You should be getting upwards of that. Once, should definitely be getting upwards of that. And going back to the training part, when I first started my business, I was sort of against training and thought it was a waste of money. You know what I mean? And the only advice I could give to anyone starting their own business now is get into the training earlier, because if I did that training when I first started my business, I'd be a lot further than I am right now going into it. So invest in your training, invest in your sales, invest in yourself, invest in your business.
Wow. What? That's getting deep. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I think as well, because people think that when they run a business, especially when they're getting into it, they're wearing all the hats. So they're doing the inventory, they're, going to the suppliers, they're quoting the jobs, they're doing the admin at 9 o'clock at night, while watching television, they're replying to emails, like,
and those hours aren't accounted for, are they?
100%. And, I was on a bit of a sidetrack, but I was actually on a yacht yesterday for a networking event, and we're full of business people, and there was a successful businesswoman on there, and she said, like, and it was actually quite deep, and I was like one Corona in, so I was like, wasn't expecting to go so deep, like so early on the networking event. But she mentioned, and I think it's going to hit a lot of people. Like she said, you're working nonstop. You're 24 hours for your business. You do everything for your business, but where is your business for you at your funeral? Yeah. And I was like, wow.
That definitely hits deep, right?
Oh, that did hit that definitely hit deep. And I was just like, that's a very valid point. And it really gets you speaking to about, you need to work on the business, not in the business. And your business needs to be working for you. as well. It's got to be serving you, right?
Yeah, well, exactly right. We all get into business for freedom eventually, right? But that comes with a lot of hard work to reach that freedom.
100%, 100%. I think the technician in us, as well as we do our apprenticeship, we're taught to fault find. We're taught to figure it out ourselves, right? That's what we're taught to do. You know, just get, especially with my apprenticeship, a lot of the time it was like, just get it done. You know, just get thrown out in the deep end and whatnot. You're just taught to figure it out yourself, and we carry that same mentality when we go into the side of business, and the people are stuck in that hustle bustle. And you got to remember, it's for everyone listening in, you got to remember you're going to be in this profession, right, for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what you want to do with your career. So you got to ask yourself, is what you're doing right now the absolute optimal way to actually run your business?
Yeah, no, definitely agree with that. That's you got to overlook it all the time. You know what I mean?
100%.
And you got to stick to things that work. And obviously trial out new things in business as well. If you're not trialing things out, how do you know they work, right?
Without a doubt. And and you got to look at you, for instance, right? There are people there are people out there. There are Sparkies out there that are struggling to get to power one truck, right?
Yeah.
There are companies out there that are powering 5 trucks, 10 trucks, 20 trucks.
What are they doing differently, right?
I love it. Yes.
What are they doing differently? Just that advice that we give to each other and our networking channel, that all definitely helps. Putting yourself around like-minded people is probably the biggest thing in business.
Sounds super cliche. It sounds super cliche, but it's 100%. And what I loved what you just said just then, Daniel, was you said like-minded people for business as well, because people forget that it's a transition to go from electrical contractor to electrical business owner. It's a different set of skills, and you don't have to be a surgeon or anything like that, but it's a different set of skills. And to not know how to, I know everyone thinks they know, but to not really know the background behind your business.
Yeah.
Like for people not to understand the business side behind their business is an absolute non-negotiable.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Non-negotiable.
So it's a non-negotiable. You have to understand, like, there are people making more money than you are right now, right? There are people that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are people that are where you want to be or where you want to go.
Yeah.
You don't have to figure it out yourself. That's what I want to say. Like, you don't have to figure it out yourself. Speaking to like-minded people, understanding that your business is a business, and away you go. So with Bright Force Electrical now, like, what are your plans with Bright Force?
Well, currently probably just staying put where we are at the moment. We're actually going really good. We got a team of 5 of us, or
awesome.
six with my wife that's in the business, which is all pretty good at the moment. But
you're not only quoting, but your staff are actually doing your quoting and selling on your behalf as well as you as well. Right?
That is correct. Yeah, that's exactly right. So future plans is obviously going to another state. I've said that since sort of day one. That's my biggest goal. Queensland will hopefully be the first state. So
Goldie's calling.
All you Queenslanders, you watch out. I'm coming.
Love it. Yeah. So, and why is that? I want to get like. You take, I'll say this as well. You take Sydney Eyes.
Yeah.
Right. So you take the Sydney Eyes to another state, because a lot of people go, "Oh, but Spyro, your systems won't work in my regional town." Or what do you say to those people?
They work everywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what town, what city, doesn't matter how small of a city you live in, those systems work. We know people on the Central Coast are doing even bigger numbers sometimes than what we're doing, right?
I know, we've got members, I won't mention them, but we've got members that, and guys, doing big numbers and doing sales, it doesn't mean you're doing anything ill by the customer. I'll put that in there. What do you want to say on that? Like, because people go, "Oh, but if you're charging 2.5K per day per truck, that means you're ripping off the customer, or you're doing the wrong thing." What are your thoughts on that?
It just goes back to pricing for profit, right? You don't want to run a business into the ground. You want a winning team, right? And when you run your own business, you want everyone around you to win as well. It's just not yourself. It's not just yourself, right? So going back to it, you have to price for profit, and doing anything less than that, you're losing money.
And you're allowed to make money. You're a business.
You're allowed to make money,
You're
right?
allowed to make money. You're allowed to make money. And I will also say, with those regional towns and stuff like that, we've got a member that he's 2 hours past Brizzy. He's in a regional town of 10,000 people. He does upwards of 15K a week as a solo operator. 15 Gs a week, right? We've got members in Darwin. We've got members in, all across Australia doing these numbers. So Sydney's actually, I'll say it like this, right? Sydney's actually the toughest market to do these numbers in. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. I think in other regions, everyone's a little bit more laid back, while Sydney's a bit more full on. People are getting multiple quotes. That's the sort of competition we're dealing with at the moment, and that's where sales comes into play.
100%.
Like we spoke about, the person who's got the best sales tactics is going to land that job, right? And where you're investing all your money to. Obviously, with the slower months, you need to cut out on investments that aren't bringing you a return, or
maybe having those tough conversations. Do we need to either up the chase, the chasing game, or do we pull back and coast? And you're 100% right.
But how can you know what to pull back on if you don't know your numbers?
Exactly. Oh, love it.
So
you're bang on there. And I know we go left, we go a bit jumpy, but when we say with the pricing for profit, charging these numbers and getting these numbers and doing it, guys, if you're providing a service, you don't have to be expensive. It's your ability to convey value to your customers, right? So if you're going there for a GPO and then you go there and you add value, like we've got the scripts on the program and exactly how to get the customer from the ceiling fan or from the GPO to the switchboard, get the customer saying yes before you present the price, getting them understanding the importance of it. Is that unethical to notify a customer about they've got ceramic fuses?
Yeah.
And letting them know that they should be upgrading their board. Is that unethical?
Definitely not. You obviously want to be able to leave that house knowing your customer is completely safe.
I think it's actually unethical if you don't bring it there.
Exactly right. It's 100%. You want to be able to leave every job knowing that you're happy with the job that you've done and they will be safe moving forward, right?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And if that comes at a price, it is what it is. You're helping them out at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, we've got all our customers as that. There's this churn and burn mentality, and there's like the pump and dump.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on people doing that sort of strategy?
When you say pump and dump,
they're doing the wrong thing. So they're doing the churn and burn, and just there are people in the industry that are doing.
There are cowboys in every industry. Yeah. Well, those businesses won't survive. People are going to catch on, and they'll be on a current affair before you know it, right?
100%. We've seen it all too many times, right? The people that end up on a current affair, and again, it's honesty is the best policy. It sounds super cliche.
Yeah,
but it actually is. So if you do the right thing by the customer,
like I said, investing in yourself, coaching, sales is so important, and I can't stress it enough. Because I used to be one of those people that were against it when I first started. So I want to tell everyone that that's the first thing you should do: invest in yourself, business, sales.
Yeah, I know we're running out of time, but we actually got into a good. I want to make a quick point there as well, and that is a lot of people. With the investing in yourself, like the guys that are already at 1 mil or 2 mil in turnover, they're like, sweet, man. Like, how can I get to the next level?
Yeah.
Like, tell me,
Yeah.
But the guys that are stuck in their ways, right? And they could even be, have one or two guys as well, working for them, and they're stuck in their ways. Like, no, I know because I do it every day and I know what the customer says. But again, like people that are stuck in their ways, you don't know what you don't know. There are better ways to do it, and forever be learning. I've got mentors. Yeah. I'm continuing to invest in my own self-development because, I've got a turnkey automated business, but there's still so much more to go.
It's never ending. You can never learn enough, right? And,
love it.
And that's the best thing about your program as well, Sparky Sales Systems, is you're sort of a lifetime member. You're not signing up for something and then after you've done the course, you're thrown out.
You're thrown out.
What I mean? That's the difference. You know what I mean? And I believe in Sparky Sales Systems. I've watched it all. I've done it all. Implemented. implemented it all into my business, and it actually works. And like Spiro's mentioned, he's had his own mentors. He's done all this. He's put all his knowledge into one platform that you get access for life.
You know what's funny? I get that all the time. They go, because I'll be like, I'll be calling to see like how progress is, checking with members and stuff like that, and they go, man, it's actually awesome. Like, it actually works. I go, what does that even mean? What, you weren't expecting it not to work? And I'm just like, bro, like, of course, like, I'm a handshake sort of guy. Like, I put my money where my mouth is, and that's why we've got the online portal, right? We've got the online portal, lifetime access. We've got the live training. Plus, if the live training over Zoom's not enough, come in and do a ride along.
Yeah, exactly right. You're offering the full package, right?
That's what we do, and we've had guys come. Melburnians, mate. you guys are getting ready to get shaken up, because we've got so many members in Melbourne that are flying to Sydney to do ride-alongs, to really onboard this training and absolutely send it. So I don't think Melbourne know what's coming. So I'm super, super excited for it. I'm super excited to see what happens to you in Goldie as well. I think Goldie, I love Goldie.
Yeah, that's a good holiday destination as well. So if you don't see me in Sydney anymore, I'll be up in the Goldie full time.
I'm running 2 businesses. And do you reckon you'll do that with the same company, or do you reckon you'll rebrand it to something else, or undecided?
That's sort of undecided at the moment. I don't know. I might want to do a rebrand and sort of start it from scratch, so it comes from nothing, and prove to everyone that it's possible, right?
Well, you already know what to do. So it's just keep that business model, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, exactly right. You know all the fundamentals. You know what to bring into the business, and like you said, rinse and repeat, and
go,
that's it.
Go Send City. So Daniel, thanks for coming today to the 7 Figure Sparky podcast. Really, really appreciate you coming on board and being a member, and sharing your insights on your future endeavors.
Thanks, Spyro.
Best of luck for the future.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having us on board.
Awesome. Cheers.